Good morning. We are looking at the S&P. First of all, we've had pretty eventful few days, so we should expect the unexpected with regards to the price action. It's been inconsistent in reacting to headlines. So let's go back to last week and see where we are within that range. You're looking at the S&P, a few days of action. So if we go back to Wednesday, we had a pop and then a drop on Thursday and a Friday rally that ended the day in a weird weak way. And then yesterday on Monday, we had a pop that beat that. We set another all-time high, so that's 3 days of all-time highs. And there was a weird weakness in the end of the day, so it's becoming a habit, maybe. We'll see. But which is basically they're swinging highs and lows in an ascending manner like they have been for a while. Until that changes, we should assume that is what will happen next. So it would be okay to come down. So on the SPY, for example, 559 to 558 is doable. And then the expectation is that they will try to run it up and make a higher high. The mega caps, the large 4 or 5 companies, have the ability to make that happen. The IWM is in full breakout mode. This is 10% in just a few days. It's 2,000 stocks. We've been watching that for a long while. We'll see this week if they can come back to the base. I will be carefully watching this to see if I want to reshort it with bear call spreads. I do have an attempt with an IWM which is not working well. It's puts out to August. I will check on doing more bear call spreads that worked before. All of them worked. So I will update you on that. The Qs, strangely, which is the NASDAQ, is the weakest. We had a Wednesday pop, a Thursday drop. All the pain was concentrated in the QQQ. And then the recovery met the halfway drop. On Friday, we only went to halfway. We did not make a higher high like the SPY, and we did not make a higher high yesterday from the all-time high. They filled our boxes perfectly, so the expectations have been spot on. Is if they cannot beat yesterday's high on the QQQ, which is 501, they will probably test this cluster from the weakness of last week, centered below 494. Then we will have some sort of small correction in the largest caps, which will put a lid on the entire market because mathematically they brought us up here and they can bring us down, the big ones, but they can't move the IWM. So this is where we have this rotation thing that the experts can talk about. The mega rotation is going on, so they can justify no net selling. They sell one portion of the market in order to buy the other portion. They're not willing to sell in net. And also, I'm looking to see how the bank follow through will happen. So Berkshire Hathaway, which is not a bank, it is 11% of the XLF. It's helping lead this. The JP Morgan pop and drop is interesting. So look how close I am still short JP Morgan and not losing a lot of money. I was up 20%, down 20%, and I'm thinking down a little bit. I have time on the clock, so I want to see the outcome of this battle this week. Speaking of reporting, we will have the mega caps start reporting soon, and that would be perhaps the determinant factor in the move of the QQQ. So maybe the fundamentals will be the next driver of the markets. For all intents and purposes, technically, the market is rising sharply into what they call a rising wedge, which is pretty unstable. And at the drop of a hat, we can have a sharp drop. The selling will happen very quickly because we have very weak hands. That's a technical term in the charts. There's not a lot of conviction when we are so high, regardless of the long-term viability of these excellent companies leading the rally. So what I'm saying is stay vigilant and be patient. Like if I wasn't brave enough to buy a company when it was down on its luck and suddenly it pops back to life and now I want to chase it where it's like 40% higher from where it was before, I'm chasing because I'm feeling better about things, not because I know better. I should have bought the dip way lower. I should be patient to find another dip to get long. Meanwhile, there are companies that are low and worth nibbling on. Nothing is worth being full on long. I should be patient to find good entries into investments. Trading wise, I can trade away.